Hello, I'm Tom Palmer and I'm a children's author and I've written quite a few books about football and I've also written quite a few books about history and my most recent book is called Resist, and this is a story of a girl called Edda in the story, but she's actually based on a real person called Audrey Hepburn. And Audrey Hepburn was a very famous actor and film star in the 1950s and 1960s, and she was also a great humanitarian, which meant she did a lot of work to help people who were starving and having a very difficult time in the countries they were living in. This is the story of Audrey Hepburn's childhood, because when she was a child, she lived in Holland, and that country was occupied by the Germans. And because they were occupied by the Germans, it was a very tough life. And Audrey, in the story and in real life, she actually did things against the Germans, which made her part of the resistance, the people resisting the occupation of the Germans, and so of their country. And so when I'm writing, I have to get my details absolutely spot on, because I'm writing about real people's lives. I'm writing about people who have suffered the things that I'm trying to tell in my story. So I have to get my descriptions of people and places right. And one of my problems is my weakness as a writer, because we all have weaknesses as writers. One of my weaknesses is description. I'm not very good at describing people and places. So what I do is I keep a scrapbook. So my scrapbook has in it pictures of people and places and maps and things like that to help me make better descriptions of my stories. So for instance, I'll have a picture of my main character, Audrey, and her mum, and that just gives me an idea of what they may have been like. These are some of the other characters: Audrey's brothers, her uncle. This is her uncle Otto, who was executed by the Nazis, and other people in her family. And this means when I'm describing the people, I can make them sound different to each other and make them sound like real people. I also, in my scrapbook, have pictures of places. Like this is Holland, where Audrey lived. Sorry, that's not worked very well, has it? This is Holland, where Audrey lived, and some of the events that happened when the country was liberated. And also, somewhere in here, I have maps. So this is a map of Arnhem, the city where she lived near. She lived in a bit of Arnhem called Velp. And I have all this material here in the book, and it really helps me to get my facts right, to be able to describe places and people. And it means that, like, whenever I'm writing, I can just refer into the book and look at what I want to look. For instance, Audrey was a dancer, so I've got pictures of her dancing, and that is really useful to me when I'm describing her doing the dancing. Anyway, that's my scrapbook. My challenge for you, because I'm now going to set your writing challenges, the next time you write a story, or the next time you have to write something for school and you're struggling a bit, my challenge would be get a piece of paper. You don't have to get a whole scrapbook, although you can. Get a piece of paper and try and find a picture of someone who is or looks like your character. Try and find a map of where they're from, or a picture of where they might be from. Try and answer the questions who, what, why, when and where, and try and find pictures that help you answer those questions. And that, I think, will help you write the story. So it's kind of keeping a scrapbook or a piece of paper with images on it that while you're writing the story will really help you to get your descriptions better, like I try to do. Thank you for listening.